tenure, the House has impeached President Trump. We'll show you what's next in this case as we are now a week away from the inauguration of President-elect Joe Biden.
The FBI is tracking potential plans of armed protests across the country after the president's impeachment. Working for you, we get an inside look at what's being done to keep everyone safe.
The state announces even more people are now eligible to get the COVID-19 vaccine. The groups now added to the list.
A van driver gets COVID-19. He says on the job. I'm Kara Kenny. Will tell you why he is raising concerns about conditions for transportation workers.
Paying fans are back at Bankers Life Fieldhouse for the first time since the pandemic began. Watching Disney on Ice, we find out what's being done to keep spectators safe. Welcome into WRTV News at 6 on this Wednesday evening. I'm Amanda Starntino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. Good to have you here.
We begin with breaking news. ESPN reports that Pacers star Victor Oladipo has been traded to the Houston Rockets. In return, the Pacers will get Karis LeVert from the Brooklyn Nets. Again, that is according to ESPN. It's all a part of a larger trade that sent NBA star James Harden from the Rockets to the Nets. LeVert has averaged 18.5 points a game this season for Brooklyn. Oladipo has spent 4 seasons with the Pacers, averaging 20.6 points per game in his tenure.
Also breaking tonight, the U.S. House of Representatives votes to impeach President Donald Trump. President Trump becomes the only president in U.S. history to be impeached twice. 10 Republican House members supported the effort to impeach the president. All House Democrats voted for impeachment. The resolution charges the president with incitement of insurrection following the violent and deadly riots at the U.S. Capitol building 1 week ago. This doesn't mean President Trump is out of office. Now all of this goes to the Senate, where there is expected to be an impeachment trial. And there can still be an impeachment trial of President Trump after he is out of office. Indiana's House delegates voted along party lines. Law enforcement agencies are hard at work right now. They are gathering information and making plans after a memo from the FBI warned of potential armed protests at all 50 state capitals ahead of President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration. WRTV's Megan Sanctorum is working for you to find out what safety precautions are being put into place.
It was 1 week ago today when violent and armed protesters stormed the U.S. Capitol as Congress worked to certify President-elect Joe Biden's Electoral College victory. A chaotic scene some law enforcement and public safety experts say should have never happened.
There's 8 signs of a terrorist event, but the really thing what you're looking for is threat, intent, and capability.
William Foley is a senior lecturer at IUPUI. He's worked for the Department of Homeland Security and Department of Defense. He says while he can't talk specifics, he can tell us local and federal officials are working to prepare for any additional protests.
Well, they've got threat and they've got intent. So what they're doing now is they're preparing capabilities. They're going to get resource capabilities up to stop something like this.
He says there's also a lot of research happening around the clock.
You win these battles with intelligence. And intelligence basically comes from 3 levels: federal, regional, and local.
He says those agencies are all working together, and he thinks there's something to be learned from what happened at the nation's capital.
I think more attention will be paid to capabilities. Threat assessments are good, but you've got to marry that to your own capabilities.
But he's hoping they are plans that don't need to be used.
We have the right under the First Amendment for demonstrations. And, God bless us, we need to do that. That's what keeps democracy vibrant. But when a demonstration turns into a riot, that's a different matter.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, WRTV.
Indiana State Police, the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, and the Indiana National Guard all declined our requests for interviews today. They did release statements, however, and we'll have those posted on our website at WRTV.com.
Hoosiers 70 and older can now sign up to receive their COVID-19 vaccine. This comes after nearly 220,000 Hoosiers have already received their first dose, those being ages 80 and older, as well as healthcare workers and first responders. WRTV's Stephanie Wade covered the governor's press conference today and has the latest updates for us.
Some monumental numbers today. So far, 40,000 people are fully vaccinated in our state. Nearly 220,000 first doses have been given, and 455,000 Hoosiers are scheduled to be vaccinated by the end of the month. Just as the state health department expanded vaccination availability to now people 70 and older today, nearly 60,000 more people have made their appointments since this morning.
Indiana has accounted for nearly every dose that we have received in the number of people who have already been vaccinated or who have already scheduled an appointment. We have not been sitting on doses of vaccine, and we never will.
State leaders say their goal is to save the most lives and reduce hospitalizations. Hoosiers 70 and older account for 11.8% of the state population, but 78% of our COVID-19 deaths and 42% of hospitalizations. So they will not be expanding eligibility to people 65 and older or younger people with health conditions, as recommended Tuesday by the federal government.
We're trying to get to everyone as fast as we can, but we're starting with the most at risk of death and of being hospitalized.
We just don't know when we're going to get a big bump in our vaccine dosages.
They're requiring at least one vaccination clinic be available in every county and adding more sites next week, including mobile vaccination clinics.
We do not want to see lines of people waiting hours outside for their vaccines, and offering a first come, first served approach does not protect those most at risk for severe illness or death.
Indiana is now also one of at least 10 states reported to have the second strain of the coronavirus from the UK. Dr. Box warns it is much easier to spread.
So please stay the course. Don't let down your guard. We will get to the other side of this pandemic. We just need more time.
Stephanie Wade, WRTV.
I'd say it's been a constant learning experience because we've had to be fluid, all of us.
And for the first time since the pandemic began, paying fans will be sitting at Bankers Life Fieldhouse tonight for Disney on Ice. WRTV's Nikki Dementri walks us through what it took to get there and what's being done to keep spectators safe.
Why do you keep lacing up your skates day in and day out?
I love it.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah. I love the feeling, and I love being able to perform and bring a little bit of magic to people's lives.
For over a decade, Marie Hanford has called the ice her second home. The California native has portrayed the Disney princess Moana for the past 3 years in the Disney on Ice show. And after taking unexpected time off as shows went dark during the pandemic, Hanford says she's honored and grateful to be back traveling around the country.
There are some things that perhaps look and feel different in certain ways, but I think it's just important that we are trying to bring the Disney magic and the health and safety of ourselves, but also our guests. It's just a huge part of it.
We've had people periodically in the building, but this will be the first time where you've got paid attendance since last March, essentially.
A flexible and fluid learning process is how Danny Lopez at Pacers Sports and Entertainment describes the past few months to get fans safely back into the stands.
We've been working for months and months and months with obviously the league, but also the county health department and the city and the mayor and the governor.
During a typical year, Bankers Life Fieldhouse hosts 550 events and sees millions come through its doors. But 2020 and 2021 are anything but typical. Disney on Ice will not see more than 3,000 spectators a night.
How does it feel from your perspective that you finally can allow some folks back in?
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, we thrive off that, right? Bankers Life is just different when it's empty, and it's built for guests.
Lopez says safety is the top priority here. Every aspect of a fan's experience, he adds, was reviewed and changed to be COVID friendly. These are some of the many changes fans can expect: mobile tickets, cashless only options, and low contact security and screening.
And it's the Fieldhouse experience that people have come to expect, just lower contact.
Nikki Dementri, WRTV.
Well, the Disney on Ice show runs tonight through Monday at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Next Tuesday, tickets to Pacers games go on sale.
A van driver is raising concerns about working conditions after he contracted COVID-19. Randy White of Greenfield says more needs to be done to protect transportation workers like van and bus drivers. WRTV reporter Kara Kenny joins us now with what he says needs to change.
Randy White took a job back in August as a van driver for Oak Street Health here in Irvington Plaza. He says soon after he developed COVID-19, and now he's raising concerns about working conditions and whether van drivers are properly protected.
I needed to supplement my part-time income because I was a truck driver for 27 years, was injured on the job.
So he took a job as a van driver for Health Park Hospitality, which contracts with Oak Street Health for transportation. Randy picked up Oak Street Health clinic patients from their apartments and nursing homes and drove them to the clinic and back home.
And at that time, we were wearing a cloth mask. We were allowed to do so. There was no plastic barrier provided in the van.
He says they were given no eye protection, no shields, and few things to disinfect their vans.
The only thing, Kara, that they provided was alcohol in a spray bottle. There's no Clorox wipes. There's no Lysol.
He believes he contracted the coronavirus from a clinic patient he picked up, who Randy says was obviously very sick.
No eye protection whatsoever, and she's coughing. I mean, it's a horrible cough. And she did not have a mask on. And she said, I told the clinic, I think I have that coronavirus. And I said, I beg your pardon?
Randy says no one at the clinic warned him about the patient, and at the time he was not allowed to ask pickups about COVID-19 symptoms.
They said it was a privacy issue.
Randy says he felt sick within days, and his September 24th test came back positive for COVID-19.
I felt as if I was going to die. I felt as if I could not breathe.
When he finally returned to work weeks later, Randy says he spent $40 of his own money on cleaning materials, but says his managers treated him like an outcast.
That's when all the discrimination began. They were no longer friendly. They were like this, stand back, don't approach us.
Randy quit his job as a van driver on December 30th.
I felt like that they could have done more to keep me safe.
We reached out to Oak Street Health about Randy's concerns. The company told us, we have investigated the claims regarding COVID-19 procedures and have found no evidence of material deviations from our COVID-19 policies and protocols, which are consistent with guidance from relevant federal and state health authorities and with the recommendations of the medical community. These COVID-19 policies and protocols include an extensive standard operating procedure for transportation focused on safety. This encompasses, but is not limited to, cleaning protocol, driver personal protective equipment protocol, and a thorough notification process for any suspected infections or exposures. In addition, Oak Street Health performs daily COVID-19 symptom screens on all patients, staff, and contractors. Randy says after he got sick and returned to work, some improvements were made, including adding partitions in the vans and screening patients for symptoms at pickup. He hopes his story will prompt companies to better protect bus and van drivers.
Maybe by you shining a light on this would bring some needed attention.
Oak Street Health and Health Park Hospitality declined to do an interview with us, but you can find Oak Street Health's entire statement in this story on our website, WRTV.com, and the WRTV app. Working for you, Kara Kenny, WRTV.
Randy has talked with OSHA about his concerns. If you have a concern related to workplace safety, you can report it to OSHA. Their number is 317-232-2693. You can also email a complaint to this email address, oshacomplaint@dol.in.gov. We've also included a link in this story on the WRTV app and WRTV.com. Health Park Hospitality provided a statement saying, quote, "We have ensured that our employees are provided with appropriate PPE, including masks, gloves, and hand sanitizer. We've implemented thorough safety protocols, including procedures for sanitizing vehicles after each single transport, keeping anyone who uses our service as safe as possible. Most recently, we have also installed barriers in vehicles, dividing the passenger row seating from the driver's row. We will continue to assess the situation and make any needed adjustments or procedures that can responsibly minimize risk while continuing to provide such a vital service in the community."
Mild and dry today, followed by some rain showers tomorrow and then snow showers as we head toward the weekend. We've got several things to talk about. We'll do that right after this break.
Leaf Guard. The Rebound Indiana is our effort to help you and your family get through the pandemic by alerting you to resources that are available to help you thrive.
Yesterday, we introduced you to 3 membership organizations looking to help women in our community and find support, especially in this pandemic. All 3 businesses provide networks and resources for women and mothers in the Indy area. And our Lauren Casey learned that they too had to overcome challenges in the age of COVID-19.
Indiana Originals is a search engine to help people find and support local businesses.
Mel McMahon Stone calls herself the Chief Everything Officer, or CEO, of Indiana Originals. The membership organization supports Indiana artisans, helping consumers find Hoosier-made goods.
We can help you get all of those thousands of products online. Here's how we did it.
To support her members, she created Indiana.Gifts, a virtual marketplace.
I did not think I'd be launching a new business in the pandemic, but there's a demand for it, right? A lot of our members lost their retail outlets. And it's like, how can we help you? How can we shine a spotlight on these great businesses that still exist and are still here?
Businesses like the City Moms reevaluated their business plan during the early months of the pandemic.
The City Moms is a membership collective, or we like to call it a sisterhood for the modern mom.
Janine Bobenmoyer is the Chief Mom Officer, who says her team typically planned around 10 events per week. As the pandemic forced them to go virtual, she says they were forced to take a hard look at what is most important for their members right now.
And that's been a lot for our team to really go through in those first few months of COVID. I think now we've really kind of hit a good stride, but it's definitely been a huge change.
And then there's Leslie Bailey. She co-founded Indie Maven just months before this global pandemic.
Indie Maven is a lifestyle media company specifically for women in Central Indiana.
And she took a planned maternity leave through it all. But being nimble and pivoting to meet her readers where they are helped her team to have a successful first year in business.
There have been a number of very major themes that have emerged this year that have really driven not just the content we're putting out, but the entire direction of our business.
And she wants women to know these 3 groups are working together to support local women.
Making sure that people know that there's this sense of community, because whether you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, or you're a mom, or you're single, or it's just a lonely time. So kind of if you participate or engage with one brand, you're likely to find this whole other community amongst the others.
In a way, it's good that you have a lot of virtual power, and with everyone at home, a lot of people are turning to that a little bit more now, but then also we're not seeing you guys as needing support.
We're not exactly in a very apparent industry, our 3 businesses. They are in industries, but not in the sense that you can quickly or easily identify, right?
So even though we don't necessarily have a brick and mortar, we're still in the same boat as a lot of our businesses, where every plan we had to get adjusted and had to be different.
Working for you, Lauren Casey, WRTV.
To connect with the City Moms, Indiana Originals, or Indie Maven, click on this story on our website at WRTV.com/rebound. Kevin.
If you're counting, we've had 11 straight days without rain or snow. I don't think we'll have a 12th. We've got some rain that will arrive tomorrow evening around this time, and then some snow showers on Friday. It becomes more active rather than our dry and cloudy stretch. We managed to make it to almost 50 today. Here are your headlines moving forward. Late tomorrow, the rain chances will increase. Colder air will bring snow showers potentially Friday and over the weekend. The best chance of snow showers over the weekend comes the second half. So on Sunday, I've circled the area to watch as that moisture drops to the south and east out ahead of the cold air. You see the snow back behind, so it will do two things. Bring the rain first. Let's follow this timeline. 4 o'clock tomorrow, clouds in place, temperatures still in the 40s. Tomorrow evening, rain chances spike around 7 o'clock in the metro area. It will be a little later in the eastern portion of the state. Then we could see a few snow showers through the overnight, but it's really during the afternoon hours on Friday that snow showers will pop up. They may have a little intensity, lowering the visibility, could provide a quick dusting as well. Temperatures, though, above the freezing mark to end the work week, but still colder than today's 48, for example. 38, that chance for snow showers on Saturday as well. Tomorrow, the key, again, to keeping temperatures on the mild side will be the stronger south wind. It will gust 20 miles per hour through the day, and that pulls our temperatures well into the 40s once again. You see the spike in our rain chances either side of 7 o'clock, western portion of the state arriving first, and then between 9 and 10 exiting the eastern portion of Indiana. Low pressure and the counterclockwise circulation around that will pull colder air into the state and also develop the snow showers, especially during the afternoon hours on Friday. 7-day forecast, one more day, at least in the short term, where temperatures move into the 40s with the rain later in the day. Snow showers Friday and Sunday. Cold still Monday, and then we bounce back quickly. Temperatures will be around 40 degrees, as you can see, Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Mark.
Kevin, thank you. It is breaking news tonight, and in case you missed the top of the show, there's a big sports story we're covering. ESPN reporting that Pacers star guard Victor Oladipo has been traded to the Houston Rockets. In return, the Pacers will get Caris LeVert from the Brooklyn Nets. Again, that's according to ESPN. Breaking news we're following. We'll be right back.
Pacers.com.
Dry when you head to work tomorrow. Some showers by the time we get to the evening hours, and enjoy one more mild day. Temperatures in the 40s, and you see the slide happens after that. It will be much colder as we move Friday into the weekend. Mark and Amanda?
Embrace tomorrow. Thanks for making WRTV your choice for news.
The World News Tonight with David Muir is up next. Then we will be back with you for WRTV News at 7.